It's funny how people will believe that when you show humility, that it's their duty to humble you even more or try to make you seem smaller than you really are. And the thing is, it's a futile position to try to take. And, just because I show humility doesn't make me a bitch. That's what a lot of people just don't seem to get. And they're surprised when I hold my ground. And when you commit to being great, not for them, because there really is no them. It's all us. But that's the kind of the predicament that we're in, is a lot of people are still stuck in separateness so much that they're convinced that their lives cannot be incredible without trying to put others down. They're convinced that if they have this imaginary high ground for a long duration of time, long enough, then they can be, it's kind of like they're spiritual predators. And you see, I'm the kind of spiritual person who is, and I'm not even that's not my identity, but for the sake of simplicity in speech, this is what we're going to be talking about, is I'm the type of spiritual person that spiritual people who are spiritual predators can't take advantage of. And that irritates them, even when I show humility. Because it's like, look, if you try to play the man with the full sack, you really just play yourself. And that is the truth. It's not a, like it's almost like I want to apologize to them. It's like, wow, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize you were so attached to this narrative structure. I thought that you were trying to speak from a place of somewhere else, but you are like a timelessness, but you're not. And I see through you. And I'm not pitying this person. I'm not pitying these people when this happens. It's just like, oh, sorry, I didn't realize you were attached to this narrative. Okay, bye. And as soon as you're able to let go of these people that are trying to push their own narrative onto your life, because if you're not living on your own timeline, you're living on somebody else's timeline that they're trying to put you on, or they're trying to keep you on. And your life is about to be so incredible when you just stop acting like a bitch. When you just stop choosing to participate in playing these games. Like a lot of the people, like I had a godlike mastery initiate a few months ago, was asking me about their reputation and such, and like what to do about their reputation. And I was saying, well, who cares? Who cares? Who cares about your reputation? It's like, well, reputation is very important. And this came up in like several different types of initiates and clients that I had worked with over the last couple months since then. But specifically, I'm thinking about this one, and it's like, well, but my reputation, if you don't have a good reputation, you're not going to be able to do certain things in the world. It's like, well, says who? Says you? Because you're creating that narrative structure. You're creating the narrative structure that if you act a certain way in which you want to act, you're not going to get what you want. That's bonkers, man. That's bonkers. That's why I say ignore reality. Ignore these snakes. Appreciate them. Appreciate the role that they have to play in your own spiritual growth. And appreciate the people who are trying to manipulate you into believing that you're not as great as you say you are. Now, the thing is like, once you see everybody as the soul of existence, once you see everybody as the soul of life itself, expressing itself in different forms, you can't really manipulate people, because you know that like you truly know, not just intellectually, not on your imaginary high horse, in your heart, you know that if you manipulate these people that are outside of you, you manipulate yourself. And by manipulating yourself, you're only causing unnecessary suffering. And a lot of people want to just chat just to chat, or talk just to talk. I don't talk just to talk, or chat just to chat. I talk because I have something to say. And even when I'm hanging out with people, like, I'm choosing to hang out in that context. But I don't just hang out with anybody. I can, but I don't want to. It's not what is calling to me in the spirit of the time. It's not that I'm not capable, it's just that I'm not into that. And so I'm focused on my life. I'm focused on building something. I'm focused on actually curating and creating my life. I'm not focused on the creation anymore. I'm focused on being a co-creator. And that makes life incredible, because your words themselves create and manifest certain things in your life. Speech in of itself is a creative act. I would say that that's one of the reasons why the Bible says that the Word was with God and God was the Word. And then the Word was made flesh. It's because we are narrative structures. That's what we are as human beings. And it's only when we can let go of these narrative structures that we let go of the Word, and then see that the Word is beyond comprehension. Life is so beautiful when you accept that you can't really know everything. And in that acceptance of not really knowing anything and everything, you open the possibility to know everything. Do you see what I'm saying here? Do you understand what I'm saying here? Because this life is so beautiful. And so many people are just attached. So many people are committed to, oh, but I have to suffer. But what makes you think you have to suffer, man? What makes you think you have to suffer? What makes you think that you have to suffer in order to receive? What makes you think that you have to suffer in order to be fruitful? What makes you think that you have to suffer in order to live a fulfilling life? What makes you think you have to suffer in order to just be? Now, life is suffering, yes, and this is not to say that people aren't going through difficult times, or this is not a difficult time for a lot of people, because the more I merge with the soul of existence, the more I see the suffering of others much more easily. And it's a balance of self-love and spaciousness inside myself to really acknowledge the true depths of what is actually going on, because the heart really knows no bounds. And you can know that intellectually, but it's another thing entirely to really feel it. And I would say creating a safe space in yourself so that you can not throw out the person or the people around you in your heart. Like you don't need to treat them as trash, but if you can throw them out of your life without throwing them out of the heart, then that is the balance right there. That is the balance of self-love and spaciousness sometimes, because sometimes you just can't be around other people. They're not going to be able to appreciate you. And it's not on them or you really to like change that narrative structure. Like just live a different narrative structure. Live a different timeline. It's okay. We don't have to be so confined in our definitions of how life is supposed to be. But, this is why love is really so important, but a lot of people don't really know love the way that they think that they do. And it's kind of like, I look at some of the people that I've worked with in the past, and when they kind of get a little bit caught up in their minds too much, right? It's kind of like they come to me, or they shoot me a text or something, and I just kind of look at it, I'm like, overthinking again, huh? And I'm not judging them. I'm just discerning what's going on. And I know that I'm doing this as well, and not all the time, but I'm capable of it. And I know that I'm capable of it because I have the humility to accept that I don't, I still have attachments. And if people want to believe that, they're the authority of others, it's like, you've missed the point already, man. You've missed the point already. You're the authority of yourself. There is no other. But you also have to see that it's the Lord, it's God, it's the soul of existence, it's Krishna, it's Allah, it's Jesus Christ, it's all of these names, it's Ram, it's Ramanayana, it's all these names. But they're you. And this is a dangerous teaching, simply because a lot of people's egos will get attached to them being a certain way, and they're not liquid in their personality or their identity structure. They're actually quite rigid, and you can see this in their physiognomy as well. And people, they don't want your life to be so incredible when you stop being a bitch and you start ignoring reality. Life changes forever. I don't even want to say you stop being a bitch. It's like you stop acting like one. Because again, there's a difference between being something and acting like something. What we are is love and truth and joy and happiness and bliss. That's what we are at our deepest core, because that is all that there ever will be forever. It just changes how we perceive it in different forms. And it seems to me that there's a lot of people who, they're not recognizing that this is a process. And you just got to go with the process. What else are you going to do? You can't rush the healing, man. You can't rush the healing. And you can't try to think your way out of overthinking. You can't do that. I mean, you can try. Go for it. See if you can do it by just your sheer willpower. Why not? Try it. But I can say that, I've been there. And no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't do it. Because when you're thinking about thoughts and all you have to think about are thoughts, you're not actually living life. In the Regal Academy yesterday, we were talking in the group call, and one of the members mentioned how spirituality is, cleaning the bathroom or sweeping the floor, brushing your teeth, all these, whatever it is, right? Just taking care of the place that you are operating in. I got my tires on my car. I got new tires on my car recently. And, oh my gosh, I really don't like doing maintenance on on the car. I don't mind doing maintenance in my own house or anything, or on myself, my body. But man, the car, it's just like, golly, it's just such a process. And it's just it just seems like it's not worth it sometimes, you know? But then afterward, after the process, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, no, this is kind of nice. Like, it's kind of nice to just have your own vehicle. You know, you don't need it, but it's definitely nice to have, and, you know, why not? You know, it's nice to have some brand new tires, and you can, you know, driving around, you feel a little bit more, you know, just grounded on the road, and yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, you know. But it can be a process sometimes, and, you know, it can just be kind of a pain, because you see the other people trying to like immediately upsell you on everything, like, oh, we noticed your air filter has a little bit of leaves in it. That'll be $300. What the no, I don't want an air filter change. Like, I'm exaggerating to make a point here, but you see what I'm saying, right? But then as soon as you see them, as if they were the soul of existence, God themselves, dressed in drag, so to speak, like Ram Dass would say, dressed in drag. It's God dressed in drag. And you look at how beautiful they are. And you look at them trying to rob you for everything you've got, and you just say, you know, silly, silly God, not recognizing he's yet God, or she, or whoever it is. And it becomes a fun game. You start to see Bhagwan, you start to see, you know, the name for God. You start to see God in everyone and everything. All the time. Even the things that are just kind of like, you know, they seem like a pain, but they're really not. It's just part of the process, and that's what we're here to do, is just to learn. And everything is an opportunity to grow in our own godlike mastery education. Because again, I'm not the master. I'm not the educator. I'm the mastery education for godliness. So, with all that said, I trust that this message is received by those that are ready to receive it. Peace be with you. Be blessed. Until next time.